Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Ivy and I'm going to be filming some daily vlogs, some journaling vlogs, some reading vlogs on this channel. The lighting isn't great, as you can probably tell, but I promise it will get better as the video proceeds. So yeah, today's video, setting up my 2026 bullet journal. I got myself a bullet journal from Typo. It has these like little flowery details. You can't really tell. I'll get the cover. So this is like the little slot it came in. It says sweet notes on it. It's a dotted bullet journal, which I'm very, very happy about. So yeah, I just have one more thing and we will get right started. Alright, so in the video, you might see a lot of this journal. This is my planning journal, so I originally thought this was going to be my bullet journal. So I put a lot of effort into it, as you can tell. And I'm really sad I can't use it anymore. But I have made an improvement to my bullet journaling, and I think it looks better now. So yeah, you'll see this because I have lots of planning in it. I will be listening to Emily Henry's Happy Place on audio while I do this, so yeah, I won't keep you guys waiting. Let's get into this.
Hey guys, voiceover Ivy here. So yeah, I'm just setting up my title page right now. These tubes gave me a very, very hard time. I could not get them right. I do not know why. It was so hard to do. Anyways, I went through a couple of designs before finally settling on this one. I had previously decided on this design already, as you could have probably told from my planning journal. Yeah, so it's just this hello into 2026, and 2026 was meant to be kind of like almost like a square, but it ended up being more rectangular, which I think it's because I drew the twos a bit too long, but that's okay. And now I was just matching my highlighters and markers to the cover, making sure that it looked cohesive and nice, and coloring everything in. Now, this is actually one of the first bullet journals that I have ever handwritten by myself. Usually, I would have just done everything online and printed it out, but this time I decided to go the extra mile and handwrite everything. So, I did use a lot of whiteout because I made a lot of mistakes, but you know what? It's okay because it's the process that comes with it. Like, in the beginning, I was really careful and I used lots of pencil, and then I went over with pen, and then I was like, this is really frustrating. And then towards the end, I kind of literally just used pen by itself. But yeah, anyways, so the first time I did this in my other journal, I only did the washi tape border around one page, but this time I decided to go around both of the pages to make everything look a bit more cohesive and nice. So yeah, that's basically it. I was also trimming up the edges of each paper, of each page, to try make everything like look more subtle, because it was like so that the pages would be rounded. And now I'm just drawing like scribbles and dots and circles and hearts and all that stuff on the corners of these pages, because I thought there was a bit too much empty space going on. And now I have just written the words bullet journal, reading log, and scrapbook, because I'm putting all that into this bullet journal. Even though it's mainly a bullet journal, I want to keep track of my reading things, and I also want to put a bit of scrapbooking in. Decorating with some stickers, and I just wrote a goal for myself at the bottom there. It was to write in this bullet journal at least 4 out of the 7 days of a week, every week, because sometimes I find myself forgetting to write in things, and I just really need to, since I put so much effort and work and time into this, I really need to use it well. Now I'm moving on to my future log. If you guys don't know what a future log is, it's basically like a mini calendar, an overview of the year. If I have any events or anything, I can write that in my future log. And after writing the word log, I remembered that I wrote it wrong, because I want to use as Dutch doors. As you can see here, I'm cutting out the pages to make a Dutch door, and now I am just carving out the pages with a little crafting knife and putting some pages underneath to make sure I don't accidentally cut the actual page. of the bullet journal too far. So now I'm just rewriting log because I considered sticking it on, but it just didn't look nice. So yeah, and I like this little journal look that I have from this bullet journal, and I'm just making it look much cuter by putting these kind of like tabs in the mini notebook inside my bullet journal, and I'm really happy with how this turned out. And in my planning journal, I originally printed out the calendar and stuck everything on, but I decided to handwrite it because I didn't really like the look of the white paper that I stuck on. So yeah, I'm really happy about this because it looks much more nice, much more cohesive, and just more hand done, which is really what I was going for this future log. And one more thing I do want to say is that I really had a hard time doing this. Like, I was getting so many things wrong, and I was just trying so hard not to like have a full-on panic attack when I was doing it. But in the end, it turned out pretty nice, and I'm quite happy about it. So yeah, and now it is onto my goals page. For this page, I put 4 sections on: my study section, my health section, my friends section, and my happiness section. Um, yeah, my camera cut out for a little bit, which I don't know why. But it just ended up jumping straight to that. And I didn't actually fill in any of my goals because I wasn't quite sure on what I wanted to do. So I was like, I'll just fill it out next year if I have to. I colored in the little circles, with the little symbols. I drew like 2 stick figures for friends, which I thought was pretty cute. And I also want to point out the camera sticker on top. I really like that. I don't know why. It was just, I really like it. And then I was like searching up some ideas of what to do, and I came across this bucket list idea. So yeah, it's like a bucket list bingo, and I thought that was so cute and such a nice idea. So I did the bucket list bingo. I didn't know exactly what I wanted to put on my bucket list, so I kind of just winged it, you know. But in the end, I think it turned out pretty nice, and I found it so hard to find out to figure out what I wanted to put on my bucket list. So in the end, I just like left some things because I was like, maybe I'll just fill it out next year if I have any goals for myself next year. But one of the most like the main things I can remember from my bucket list is making bread. I've been wanting to try that for the past year, and I just never got around to do it. So I was like, you know what, next year is gonna be the year. And this next page that I'm doing is probably my favorite one out of this whole journal. It is my gratitude log. Yeah, super happy about it. Basically, I'm just gonna write what I'm grateful for and what I'm happy for. Just one sentence every single month, because I find myself in drowning thoughts of being depressing and being depressed. So I was like, you know what? Let's make my life more optimistic. So yeah, a gratitude page. I thought it was a really nice idea. Just cutting around the edges now to make sure everything looks nice. And next, I am actually writing some of my books I want to read for next year. My TBR, to be read. I changed some of my TBR books after I finished filming this, so just so that you guys know, not all the books on here I will actually be reading for next year. Some of them I might even finish this year, and some of them I decided, you know what, the important books, there's more better books that I want to read for next year. Like, for example, I took out Beach Read because I'm actually reading it now, and I replaced it with Anna and the French Kiss. I have books on my TBR now, like If He Had Been With Me, and the Once Upon a Broken Heart series, which I'm very excited to read. So yeah, just so that you guys know. And I kept on getting out of my chair and going to my bookshelf because I just needed to check what books were unread on my bookshelf, and I was actually finding really hard time of figuring out what I wanted to write. And then I got some new books and I changed everything, and I was like, oh no, there's not enough space. But I figured out in the end, and I drew some squirrels to match the front cover in. So that was pretty cute, I think. And you can't really see what I'm writing here, but it is a music log. My camera couldn't catch everything. I'm very sorry, but it is my music log, and this is actually one of my favorite pages of this bullet journal. I think it was pretty cute. And I didn't do this intentionally, but I just realized that there's actually 12 slots. So I was like maybe one for each month then. Yeah, so I'm pretty happy about that. And then my camera cut out. I don't know why. I'm really sorry about that. But just saying that I drew a reading vlog, reading tracker, and I also have this assignment tracker to track my assignments. But you don't see me doing it because my camera cut out. Sorry about that. But yeah.
Alright. Oh my gosh, we are done. I can't believe this. It has been so long. It is now 8 o'clock. But it has been so long, and I finally finished my journal setup for 2026. I'm going to brush away all my equipment, and my table is an absolute mess right now, so I will have to clean it up. But here is a little flip through of my journal. Let's go. Okay, alright. Hopefully this is a better angle. I'm holding my camera now, so it is gonna be more shaky, and please do not mind the mess on my table. It is atrocious. It is actually giving me goosebumps. But here is my notebook. Super cute. It's more like peachy in real life, but here we go. This is my title page. I'm super happy with this title page. And then my future log. My goals page. I have this camera, this quote that says, "Have a nice day," and I'm gonna fill in my goals later. This is for study goals, friends goals, health goals, and my happiness goals. And then I have a bucket list bingo. So on here I have a few things like finish a book series, cook, make some bread, and I haven't filled out everything yet because I'm not exactly sure what I want to do. Now this is my reading tracker. My camera was turned off when I did this, but I was like really concentrated and it took me a very long while. This was my draft and then it got to this, and it's not the best thing I could do, but I knew I wasn't going to be able to read that many books next year, so I just drew that. And if I read more books, I can always just add more, like on top of here. I can add some here. Like there's room to add, but I don't want to put too many book spaces there. So that's my reading tracker. And on my next page is my TBR. I have listed out 16, I think. Wait, no. It's a 4x4 grid, so yeah, 16. 16. Yeah, I just counted 16. My math was not mathing. But anyways, yeah, that's my TBR. So I have A Court of Thorns and Roses, Court of Mist and Fury. And this is the series that I want to finish. Summer I Turned Pretty series. Yeah, Beach Read, Funny Story, Atomic Habits, Book Lovers, Throne of Glass. I only want to read the first series of first book of the Throne of Glass series. So yeah. And then this is my music log. So basically throughout the year, if I find some music that I really like, I will just put it into this thing, and then at the end I will collect it together and put it into a Spotify playlist, which I think is very cute. And then this is my final spreads. This is actually one of my favorite spreads in this journal. It is my gratitude log, where every single month I will just write a sentence of gratitude for that month, which I think is really cute. And then this is my assignment tracker. So I have a grid for every term, and maths we have 5 tests instead of 4 tests a term, and then these 2 are just my semester subjects, which we can just cancel out later. And then I did this little thing here, which I think is so cute. Yeah, so that is all for my 2026 bullet journal. Hope you guys have enjoyed it, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.